Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. So, wie geht's heute? Translation. How you doing? How you doing today? And what's happening in English? ¿Qué pasa in Spanish? Kako estila in Russian. Chaturi, Farsi. O genki desu ka? Japanese. And aloha, mahalo. So now that we got the goofy part out of the way, oh, what else? Keyfin ne jadi? Turkish. Comment ça va? French. Come stai? Italian. I don't know. What else? All right, let's go to the questions. I'm on total goof up day mood. Dan is here. Says, my man Meron. Okay, but let me know, remind me, age and where you're tuning in from. Three things: age, gender, where you're tuning in from, please. Paramesh says, hello, Meron, sir. Hello, Paramesh. Everybody thinks I remember everything. I don't. Gender, age, where you're tuning in from. Ramesh says, please tell your daily routine. Who cares my daily routine? I sleep at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning due to the fact that maybe I go for a walk at 11:30, 12:30 in the morning in cold. By the time I come back, it's 1. Then I warm up, have some tea, and do some work, and then maybe watch some movie or something. That'll be already 3. If I have an appointment with somewhere that is different time zone that needs me to be up in the middle at night to make that time zone, like Hong Kong, Australia, or Iran, or India, or UAE, Philippines, Singapore, Japan, or places like this, then okay, it'll be a little bit later. So I could sleep maybe 5, 6, or 7 o'clock. So by the time I wake up, it's already half day gone. Unless I've got something to do, I have to get up early, which I hope not, usually. And so naturally, brush my teeth, comb my hair, make some breakfast. I don't feel like making anything, breakfast or anything. Don't like cooking these days. That I usually do. And then maybe I go out for a protein shake. And then do whatever I got to do out there, banking or whatever. Come back home, have my appointments on Skype. And then I go do a workout at my son's home. He has a full gym. Because I can't go to the gyms because I'm not. So, and that's pretty much it. And nighttime, come and eat, do something, then go for a walk, do some work, same routine. Paramesh says, in Tamil, equity, says please, says for mentally and physically fit. The mentally part is that I meditate. The kind of meditation that I've been doing since university. And sometimes I'm not that disciplined and I forget, but I often, at one time, used to do 1 hour a day, every day. Now, half an hour, if I remember, and I have some exercises for my knee that I do. That's part of the day, which I haven't done that for a week since the last time I had a physio. I just simply stopped doing them. I don't know. I was not in mood. um, what else? Lone Eagle says, "Hello, Miranjun." Hello, Lone Eagle. Remind me, gender, age, where you tuning in from, please. Obviously, you know Farsi. Um, Manav Matpati says, "Sir, I heard that if you like girls before HOCD, that means you're straight. Is it true?" Of course it is. you know, that's your nature. To each his own. Your nature has been that because when you're a child, nobody tells you this or that. You just choose what you choose. And that's what you chose. That's your nature's way, natural programming. So, kefir is good for you. At least it's good for me. I don't know if it's good for you or not, but I can, be careful what I say. Who knows? Maybe somebody is, lactose intolerant. Actually, I also get bloated when I have milk and things, so I don't drink that stuff. But kefir, I don't have a problem with it. Manav says India, male 15. Thank you for that. Atif says hello, Miran. 39, male, New York City. Thank you for that, Atif. Paramesh says in Tamil, Ipudi Irukinga means how are you? Ah, okay, now we know. Ipudi Irukinga. Interesting language. Hussein says, hello, sir, 19, male, India. Sometimes we know that girl is not right for us, but our desire is very strong. How to control to stop ourselves? It's hard for you to turn away from a girl because when you're a heterosexual male and that is your natural programming, you don't judge the girl that you are interested in whole as a whole. You pretty much have a great influence on your judgment and on your psyche, bits and parts of her body. In other words, you like her legs, you lose your mind. You like her outgoing personality, you just can't think that there's anything wrong with her. You don't consider if you like her looks or her nose or her eyes, her smile, that's enough for you to think she's perfect. Somehow you don't go beyond that to consider the fitness level, the looks, the consciousness, conditioning in in her consciousness, how you guys are compatible or not, how she behaves in society, how she takes on the challenges of life, how she reacts and negotiates challenges of day to day of life. None of that comes to your mind. How she interacts with you or not. All you care is that you're turned on by something or you love something about her. Her nails, her hand. This is what, we men are. We're visual and we're programmed for procreation. So if you see her pleasant look and fitness, even though you know she's not the right girl for you, you know her behavior or mentality or her education or her lifestyle, whatever it is not yours. You have a hard time understanding and facing with that because so much you're ingrained in your DNA that you want to be with this girl. You want to be intimate with her. You want to have sex with her. You want to get to know her. You want to take care of her. You want to protect her. You feel these sort of, extraordinary energy in you, which kind of pulls a wool over your eyes in regards to the conditioning of her consciousness. What kind of a conditioning she has in her consciousness? What she's been exposed to? What's her mentalities? What's her policy in life is? How she rolls in life? What is important or not important to her? What are her values? None of that comes to your mind. So I understand what you're saying, but you got to rise above that, because all that you're programmed to focus on, and you're programmed to disregard anything else that is important about her, will not seem important anymore once you actually are in a relationship with her and you've had that intimacy that you're looking. Now you're looking for qualities, compatibilities, consciousness, contents of the consciousness, and none of it is there, and you knew it from the beginning. Now it's too late. Now you're stuck. What are you going to do? Then you're going to break up. So rise above this temptation and lack of ability to make proper judgment based on the whole of her, and focus on that what you should be focusing, and not just the physical attributes of her and the excitement that you receive from her physical presence. Then you've done the right thing, and later on you'll thank yourself that I'm glad I was strong and I did not give in to desire for pleasure. I focus on what is the qualities that I'm looking for to build something with someone that I'm really interested to be a partner with. And then you have made the right choice. You've picked the right girl, and then uh, you will be pleased with your strength and wisdom, hindsight, choices and judgments, and so on. So it's going to be hard, but you got to rise above it. Otherwise, you just really create problems for yourself. And for what? Just pleasure of this and that, and then no substance, nothing else you can do with it. No. All right. Somebody sent me a message today, comment, that what? Why are you wasting your time? Why are you wasting time? Taking too long, drinking tea. It's so rude. It reminded me of someone that when I first started the channel, he was constantly trying to say, "Oh, it's rude. Why are you wasting our time and drinking tea?" As if they have been, you know, bought a ticket and have a custom made, and I'm supposed to be a robot here and not enjoy myself and just be at their service to see what they want, and I will be. How about if I sit like this and be and say yes sir, no sir? What's wrong with you people who make such rude comments? Yeah, I will drink my tea. I will laugh with you guys. I'll take my time. If you don't like it, you can always punish me by going and watching another channel. That's what I responded. So I hope that will, sink in and stop this kind of nonsense comments. That it's kind of funny. All right, what else we have here? A thief says, I was wondering what made you split from your wife. I didn't, she did. We were all young at one time, and we deal with pressures of life differently at a certain age. So we make certain kind of a decisions that later we may feel it wasn't the right decision. But I respect my partner's wishes at whatever stage of life and consciousness, development of the consciousness they are. and free choice. So if that would be their decision, I respect that, and I did. And we are great friends to this day, and each have our own personal lives, and no hard feelings whatsoever. All right. Hmm. Tanmay Raju says, "Hello, sir. Sometimes I feel, what if I am gay? I don't know. I saw a guy who looks good, and I felt like he looks good, and I felt nice. I felt very scared, like in my heart, a nice feeling. There's nothing wrong with you to recognize the good looks of someone and appreciate their energy, and you feel safe and secure because of the energy they're exuding, or because maybe in high school you always wanted to belong to a group and have people to bring that psychological security that every one of us are looking for. And sometimes it can be accomplished by having friends and feeling secure by being in the presence of someone who has a good energy and is good looking. There's nothing more to it. It has nothing to do with you being gay. It has something to do with the fact that we human beings appreciate each other's energy and looks and feel secure and feel psychologically secure when we're among friends, and especially if that person is, pleasant, takes care of him herself or herself. These are all perfectly okay to notice somebody's good look, or they feel good, like someone, not a problem. It's such a big deal here in North America that if you know they've kept boys so far away from each other that when they have a certain good feeling toward each other, they feel, oh, it must be a sexual feeling. No, it's a human feeling. You know, back home when I was growing up, um, we would see our friends, we would hug and kiss on the cheek, and this connection would actually help with lots of kids who go through HOCD not happen, because to them, embracing another, same gender was a friendly thing. In here, it has been programmed that it's a sexual thing, and the brain doesn't know anything. So whatever you condition it to, it thinks that it has to react to the conditioning that it has received. So they put into kids' head that you shake hands, you don't hug same gender and all that, and then so you feel like, oh, if anything I feel good about this friend or this person must be sexual. Then their brain picks up and goes haywire. So there's nothing wrong with that. And Tame says India, male 15. Okay. Gaurav says, hello, Meran, 29, male, Ontario, Canada. Says, thanks for doing these live streams. You're quite welcome. Good to see you. Hussein Lightwala says, thank you so much. You're quite welcome. Hmm. Tammy says, I saw a guy in a video. Correction. Okay, that's all right. Regardless, doesn't matter. It's all good. It's perfectly fine to admire another guy, the way they handle themselves, they walk, they look, they groom themselves. We used to, my role model was Sean Connery, James Bond. How he would dress, how he would chit chat with girls, how good looking and handsome he was, very manly. So we would learn things. And then the next James Bond was Roger Moore, very good looking guy, nice hair and all that. So we'd try to comb our hair like him if we could. And, the fact that he was handsome, it was very good. It was like a credit to, that we can be handsome and the girls would like the handsome. So we feel a certain kind of a respect and attraction to a man who is actually taking good care of himself and is good looking, and then we can see, we can learn from him. That's how we grew up, and it was all perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing sexual about it. All right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's admiration, and there's nothing wrong with it, Tanmay. Especially when an actor in a movie is also being admired by a girl in the movie, we kind of feel that he's being approved by a woman, so he must be of a higher echelon. Kind of feel envy, or kind of feel like certain respect because he's popular among the others, so it feels like he's better than us. So then we have this certain kind of a feeling of want to be friend with him to kind of become more than what we are because he seems to be, you know, um, getting the attention of the girls and being good looking and all that. So these are the things we want to be. So we create certain kind of a respect or admiration, and that in the brain, the OCD brain turns around and it runs with it and turns, oh, that's a homosexual feeling. No, it's just a normal, natural admiration feeling that could be translated to anything, but the brain translated to the things that we actually don't want. And that's what amygdala end up sending urgent and danger emotions that is not present at all. But that's why, because it's a glitch in the amygdala, so it's overactive, and these danger messages that doesn't exist is being sent, and then prefrontal cortex tries to figure out a scenario for this danger that has got no precedent, no reason for it. So figures out what's the most important thing for this person, what's the most dangerous thing for this person, his identity. So it creates a scenario for this emotional signal that was sent by the amygdala and attaches it to things that is important for this person, which is to be a heterosexual if you're heterosexual. And then it attacks it and then connects it with it's a sign of homosexuality that you felt like this. And then you take that narrative that has been just created for this miss signal from amygdala, and you say, that's why the signal was sent. That's why the anxiety was sent, because this is the fact for it. It's not true. That was just fitting the signal, not that the signal was coming because this existed. So just ignore and enjoy your feelings. There's nothing wrong with them. All right. T says, hi, Miran. I'm 21 male from London, and a low woman, love woman. But every time I have a good, arousing thoughts about woman, I get a HOCD, intrusive, explicit thoughts about men. And how do I reduce these thoughts? Don't have to reduce them. Let them be. Listen, you got to accept that the brain makes thoughts, and thoughts can exist. Why do you have to? Would you walk in the street and say, "Oh, whoever is not heterosexual, I gotta stay away from, or I gotta stop them from doing"? You know what? You don't know who is and who is not, and you accept that everybody with any lifestyle that they have can exist, and they're living their lives, and you live your life. So accepting the existence of everything else doesn't have anything to do with you being agreeing or liking or not liking whatever it is of the other lifestyles. It just means that you accept that everything can exist because it does exist. Thoughts the same. Accept thoughts can exist. So thoughts of this comes, thoughts of that comes. Don't perceive it, don't interpret it, don't worry about it. Just focus, just recognize what it is. It's an intrusive thought. It's something that I don't like. Or something that uh, it's not my lifestyle. It's not my choice. Okay. You recognize that. Then you call that for what it is. It's an intrusive thought. It's not me. It's an OCD. It's not me. It's a brain's thought. It's not me. That's it. So you recognize the intrusive thought. You called it for what it is. You labeled it. You relabeled it. And then you moved on with your life. But accept that it can be there. You don't have to shove it away, destroy it, or fight with it. No, it's a thought. What can it do to you? Image, thought. If thoughts could have changed us, well, Jesus, we could have been changing to, I don't know, a soccer ball or a bicycle or anything back and forth and to this, or maybe have $1 million in the bank and then in the afternoon we don't have it. Thought is just a thought. You give it too much credit as if it actually is an actuality. It's a virtual image, virtual thought. It's a glitch. Our brain is so powerful, it can make all kinds of images and thoughts and scenarios. That's why we can invent things. We can, be creative. And sometimes it goes rogue and makes things that we are not interested. Just let it be. You don't have to censor it, alter it. Let it be. Let it go crazy. So, okay, have fun. What do I care? Because it's brain's thoughts. It's got nothing to do with you. It's a two different system, independent system. All right. Morgan says, male 28, Ireland. Just dropping in to say thanks and keep up the great work. You are helping so many people, even if it's not always reflected in the numbers of subscribers. Thank you for that, Morgan. I appreciate that. I'm delighted that you are here and said hello, and delighted if the channel and the videos and content and live streams help somebody somewhere in the world. And thank you for the kind words. Gaurav says how to deal with the pressure of going into your 30s. What's the pressure of going into 30s? Well, is 30s a small hole and you're so big you can't go? What's the pressure? What is it, 30? Wait till you're 60 and that's the pressure of approaching 70. That's the pressure. Holy fuck. That's almost getting close to the end. That's the pressure. 30? Jesus, what's wrong with you? Don't you have too much time on your hands sitting and thinking the pressure of 30? What is the pressure of 30? You're young, strong, and just the beginning of your life. So it feels like everybody is running around me to achieve something. Lol. Who cares? Don't worry about it. Live your life. 30 is such a good age. MD Samir Khan says, how to avoid reassurance, sir. What do you want reassurance? It's a virtual reassurance. What does that mean? We're living in a world that itself, there's no certainty to it. So what are you reassuring yourself of? What's a need for that? It is what it is. It doesn't change because you didn't reassure yourself, or you reassure yourself so you're safe. You're always safe, whether you reassure yourself with a bunch of words and certain kind of a routine or ceremony or not. This reassurance business is why we have OCD, because we want to reassure. So, I got to wash my hands 3 times because then I'm sure it's going to be clean and I'm not going to take this to anything and cause any problem for me or anybody else. I got to watch the door if I locked it to reassure myself. Why do you have to come back and check it several times when you already know you've done it? This is what causes the brain to think, OCD is something that you should have. No, you don't. You don't have to really comply with what brain says. You got to touch the 4 corners of this tile because somehow. Then pretty soon you're doing these crazy things, thinking that, well, there's a obsession, and then you do a compulsion for it. And then you feel good. I did the compulsion. Gotta wash my hands. Obsession. Now I do wash it. Okay, compulsion. And when you say, I did it, dopamine is secreted. Dopamine is going to make you feel, something is good, all good. Okay. But then you keep doing the compulsion for the obsession, dopamine keeps secreted after every compulsion. And dopamine is addictive. So after a while, you're addicted to dopamine. No longer you're doing the compulsion because of the obsession. You're doing it plus for the dopamine. And when you keep doing it now for dopamine and the compulsion, after thousands of time, no longer you're doing it for obsession or the dopamine. You're doing it because it has become your habit. Why? Because the reward center, and goal finding center and habit center, they're all on top of each other in striatum. They're all on top of each other. So you keep doing one thing and eventually leads into becoming your habit. Once it becomes your habit, it's very difficult to get rid of it. Then you get it connected to your health and then have the reasons for health to be able to, wean you off of it. Just, get out of the hole. So that's why it's important as soon as you can deal with OCD and subsets of OCD so it won't become a habit. Because after a while, you don't even know why you're touching the four corners of the tile when you're walking with your feet. You have no idea. There's no obsession, there's no compulsion, there's no intrusive thought. You're just doing it. And as Dr. Anne Grable, and it has actually proven in her research, that a cluster of activities and actions can actually seem to the brain as one action. So the brain is not really aware, or you're not even aware that you're doing a bunch of actions in order to end up completing one action. You only are aware of the final, that what you're doing. For example, Dr. Schwartz says that he used to smoke cigarette for 30 years. And he says, if you ask someone all the things that we do before we smoke, buy a cigarette, unwrap the cellophane, tear up part of the package, pull one out, put it on your lips, get fired 2 inches from your lips, contrary to safety. And if somebody asks you, are you aware that you did all these steps? He says, no, I'm just aware that I'm smoking. All those clusters of movements to you seems to be one. And that's one of the part of the research of Dr. Grable, was that she proved this is why you actually don't think about all the steps. You just think about it just one. And many people do go through rituals and OCD and so on because they're not thinking about it, all the steps. They're thinking about that just got to do the compulsion and then just got to get that dopamine and then just got to do it because it's my habit. They don't think about anything else, just like a person who goes through so many steps to smoke that cigarette, fire up that cigarette, is not aware of all the other things that he or she might be doing, not even concerned about it. Things I have to do that. And they do it. Same thing with OCD and stuff. That's why it's very important to be aware and learn that you don't have to do all these crazy things. This could have any kind of a OCD, pedophile OCD, responsibility OCD, religiosity OCD, harm OCD, HOCD, washing hand OCD, checking the lock OCD, checking the oven OCD, all kinds of crazy things we do, and we believe it. That's when somehow fear turns into belief. It's fear of something that might go wrong or something not be the way you want, turns into belief, and that belief carries on to God knows where. It puts you all in trouble. That's why it's important to be aware of the glitches that the brain has and just don't pay attention to it rather than complying to it. So that's why you don't need assurances. Assurances are, death of us because it's never ending. Okay. MD Samir Khan says, does OCD people don't get maturity at certain age? Not necessarily. Some don't have OCD and, yeah, late bloomers. Some do have OCD. I don't know of any direct correlation with that. Explore with Alex says, here is Alex, male 43 from Switzerland. I don't know if I should say Guten Tag. I don't know if you're on the German border or say Comment ça va on this French border. Either way, welcome. And I can say that I'm over with my ex and I don't want to have her back, but I still have so many thoughts about her in my mind. Is it because she betrayed me? I don't know what kind of thoughts you have of her, but it could be lots of reasons. And one reason could be that, again, I don't know the quality of the thoughts, so I'm just spitballing here. One of the reasons is that you're looking at her with the eye of the past. You're looking at her with the eye of the past. Meaning you look at her, she looks the same as the same girl that you loved or liked and had no problem with it years ago. And because this physical resemblance is that, you import all the characteristics of that girl then to this girl now, and you wonder, I miss her. Why did she leave me? Why do I still want her? Because you're not looking at her with the eye of the now. You're looking at her with the eye of the past. Leave the eye of the past where it belongs to that other character at the time when she was who she was, and focus on the actuality of this one at this moment, the way she does behave, the way she treats you, the way she interacts with you, the way her life is like these days, and see her for the way she is today and her actuality. Then you may find it, well, look, I don't want to have anything to do with this girl and I don't want to even think about it, because the way she is today is not the way I prefer, because I prefer that one in the past. And that one in the past is not this one, because this one is behaving differently than that one ever did. So your thoughts belong to the eye of the past, and look at this one with the eye of the now, see her actuality, and you may find many reasons that you can easily focus on and move on, because it wouldn't seem palatable to you and wouldn't seem deserving this girl to be qualified anymore, and then it'll be easy for you to move on. But as long as you keep thinking of her as you used to think of her in the past, there was nothing wrong in the past, so you'll have a hard time moving on. So update the file. And guys, always remember that I have a site, mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com. You can go on this site, make an appointment for a consultation on Skype, and you can also check out the table of content of the books I've written. And I highly recommend the book, Me, My Psyche, and I. It helps you to understand the movement of psyche and a little bit more about yourself, meditation, fear, desire, ego, and all these things that is important for us to know about our own psyche and become the mechanic of our own machine. And of course, the ebook version is very nominal. I made it so inexpensive for everybody with any currency can afford it. And of course, there's the paper version, but it's expensive because it's heavy. I gotta, you know, ship it and all. Shipping is included, but that's why it's expensive. But you can also make an appointment with me for Skype consultation, which for every new client, for 1 hour registration, I will add another hour. So we'll have 2 hours on that very session, and we'll have plenty of time to discuss what's concerning you one on one on Skype. Well, it's 46 minutes right now. I'll be here another 15 minutes. And then I'll carry on some other thing, I guess. Explorer says, thank you, Mehran. Good advice. Maybe the struggle is to accept that this girl became someone else now, someone totally different. There you go. Now you're getting it. And that is for sure 100%. Because the consciousness is dynamic and it's constantly being updated or changed, the values, and so on and so forth. The conditioning in the consciousness, conditioning of the consciousness depends on the content of the consciousness. If there's no content, there's no consciousness. And that content is constantly could be modifying on certain things. And so at this point, her expectations, her level of understanding, all these things have changed. Her needs, her shortcomings, things that she could offer then and she can't offer now, all of that, her fears, all of this changes a person. And that's not your fault. The person has changed the way that is no longer palatable to you or compatible with you, well, then you got to say goodbye. If you say it or she say it, doesn't matter. It's just not working. So you've tried, it didn't work, couldn't mend it, then let it go. But see her as she is. Otherwise, you think, why can I, how can I endure it? I mean, she's so amazing. She's not. But that's the girl that was amazing. It was amazing and it was compatible, but she's not now. Whether you have changed or she has changed, you guys are not compatible anymore. So see her with the eye of the now, with how she is today. And then you'll have an easy time to move on. Okay. About another 12 minutes. So we'll just have a little bit of this. Good stuff. What part of Switzerland are you from, Alex? Last time I was in Switzerland was, I think it was 1996. Yeah. I went to Germany, Mainz. From Mainz, I got a train and I went to, where did I go? I think it was the German part. Yeah, definitely the German part because it's just a short ride. So it wasn't Lausanne. Well, I forgot the name of it. Anyhow, I loved it. It was beautiful. My father used to actually work in Switzerland as a lawyer for some clients and, doing a certain case for them. So he used to say, when he came to Canada, he said, well, Canada is like Switzerland, just bigger version of Switzerland. Lots of lakes, lots of greeneries and beauty and all that. Zurich, yeah, okay, I think that's where I was too, in Zurich. Well, yeah, was that? That's the one closest to Mainz, yeah? It's German side. I wish this could be a two-way discussion. Like, once eventually I have my site renewed, which I hope it will happen, and then I would like to have group meetings for Zoom. So it'd be a nominal fee for everybody to come in. So there'll be like 10 or 15 people maximum. And then we could hear each other's voices, and that would be a good interaction. And I would like that. So I'm looking forward to that. So Zurich is where I was. Yeah. So 9 more minutes, guys. Any question, come up with it. I have a regular, usual question that with all the quality contents that we have, and obviously you guys are also appreciative and find the channel useful and helpful, I still am wondering why we don't have 100 times more subscribers. Why is it just so slow in growth? You know, started this channel almost 10 years ago. Nine 9 years ago. And 24,000 subscriber. Although some of my videos are like 370,000 viewers and 60,000, 40,000. The videos get lots of views sometimes. The subscribers are not there. I don't know what's going on. What the heck is going on? Yeah. Okay, Alex. Yeah. Thank you for that. So I guess there's no more use for our discussion tonight. I hope everybody has had some fun, at least as much as I had. So I look forward for our next live stream, which could be anytime, really. These days are holidays, and I try to squeeze in as many as I can, maybe during the day one and during the night another. And hopefully we'll go through the new year together and then hope for the better things to happen next year. This past couple of years been shits for the reasons that you are all aware. So we hope the craziness will end and we'll get back to our normal lives and be free as we are meant to be. All right. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon. Well, we too, like the iceberg, have 1,000 times bigger powers that is not visible, and we must. Why? Is it something we're rambling on and I expect you to accept it? Or is there actually another power within us? Would you come and help me out? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing. Again, with that. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you. Thank you very much.